guys, Crafty Hope here, and welcome to my ICAD number 5. The two prompts today are flamingo or pink or pink and bread ties. So you can see I've pulled out some different pink, I don't know, paints and markers, and then I've got some twist ties, some bread twist ties. And I realized that that mixed media ICAD prompt is from Nina Fickett, and she probably meant those little plastic bread ties, the ones I'm talking about. She probably meant those because I know she uses those in her work quite a bit for texture, but I already pulled out these other ones because I don't know. Yeah. So I pulled those out and was trying to figure out if I was going to use them. I wasn't sure. And let me go ahead and tell you all, this card, it's interesting. I don't know. I think the two prompts really weren't inspiring me. Pink's not really my color. And so I was kind of intimidated by that. And then I was thinking about how much texture a bread tie would add to things. And I just wasn't, I don't know. I should have just gone off prompt with it. But I came up with something really interesting. So I'm kind of going with that. It's just not, I guess maybe my style or something. I don't know. I'd love to know what y'all think. Leave me a comment below what y'all think of this crazy card. So I am using my scraps to work through these ICAD. So I glued down just 2 quick pieces that would cover the card. That helps kind of just thicken up these thin index cards and just gives me a base. Gets over that white page. And then because I started a little late this morning, I had got inspired by several other artists I had seen this morning, so I did something I don't usually do, which is cut a shape from some of my scraps. So I cut this one bow, and then so I wasn't creating more scraps, I took the inside of that bow and glued that down. Now, all of this was glued down with my Oohoo glue stick, and then I started pulling in the pink. That is a Tombow marker. It is a water-based marker, and I believe that color is 725. It's just a hot pink. And then for more pink, I've got this, what is it called? Cotton candy color of Americana acrylic paint. And you can see I'm just making little rectangly squares on there. And because I found this tiny little stub of Stabilo on my desk, I'm going to go ahead and go around some of those rectangly squares with it. And then grab a wet paintbrush and activate the Stabilo as well as pull out some of the color of the Tombow because they, like I said, they're water-based and so they're kind of water-soluble. They don't like completely disappear and bleed, but yeah, they're kind of fun. Now, I had a general idea of what I wanted to do with those bread ties, and we're going to get to that, and it's where everything kind of goes sideways for me, but somewhere in here, something about that arch of that left piece of paper I cut, this starts to look like a little house to me, so you'll see it in a minute. Oh, I had some watercolors. I was playing with some watercolors yesterday, and I had those out, and that's the Jane Davenport Brights. I love those, and I got and I don't even know which color that one is. It's one of the pinks. There's 3 maybe pinks in there, and I splattered that and then just kind of pulled it around the card, and it kind of almost matches that Tombow. It's a little bit brighter than the Tombow, but it's about the same. So I'm going to dry this, and then yeah, so my idea with the bread ties, if you saw the picture at the beginning, is I wanted to kind of make it a fringe along the top edge of the card. So I've got just a regular hole punch. I'm punching some holes, and y'all, I punched these far too close to the edge. My paper's still kind of damp. These bread ties, those holes are going to tear, and the bread ties aren't going to be in there, and that kind of leads me to what I'm going to do next. Now, when I picked up my bread ties, I made sure I picked out neutral ones. I had some reds and some blues too, but I just got these like craft paper colored ones and white ones. And so I was trying to make a pattern with them. Yeah, I just needed, and it took me far longer than it should have to figure out with 7 bread ties what the pattern should be. So I had to lay it out on my desk. It's how I work with my jewelry making too sometimes. I'm like, I just have to lay it out the way I want it so I don't get confused. Yeah, so y'all can see that very first one I put in there, it tears almost immediately. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it there, and I will give this some support in the back somehow, so hopefully it'll all stay together. So that was my thought, but I was thinking maybe just a piece of like sturdy cardstock would be really good, but I didn't find that when I reached into my scrap box, because again, I'm trying to work as much as I can from that scrap box. But what I do find is some of that gummed packing tape that I used. Yeah, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday seems like forever ago, y'all. So I'm gonna pull out that, see, and I think this one tore as well. And I was trying to, it just wouldn't even stay. So I was like, I'm just gonna kind of put it here. Yeah. So I'm going to get that gum packing tape and kind of think about it and cut it down, and I will wet it with just a paintbrush and then stick it over these. Like I said, I'm trying to add some support, get these to stay in there. And I realized that just doing it on the back does not help much because they're just pushing through on the front. So I also add that gummed packing tape to the front. And even that is not going to give me all the support that I need for these. So y'all, that, like I said, it was a little crazy, but I don't know, I like the challenge of having a problem and getting to solve it. So that's kind of what this did. All right, so I'm trying to find all my little pieces of packing tape because I thought I just needed to do part of that, but yeah. So when I get this gum packing tape across the top, it starts to look like a roof. And then the bread ties kind of look like maybe thatching or something coming off the top. I don't know. That was a me thing. All right, so that one bread tie kept popping out. I thought, I'll just put some regular tape down. And no, that's not going to work. So I break out my little stapler. Y'all, I hardly ever use a stapler in my art journaling and stuff because I don't like how pokey staples can get. I have cut myself so many times on staples that it just, I don't know. But I did. I stapled 3 of them down, and I may come back in. There's one more that's still, now that I've done all of this, still a little wonky that I may go back in and staple it too. And I didn't like how plain that packing tape was looking, so I'm thinking about it. And then I'm trying to figure out if I can cover it up. But I've got the Stabilo in my hand and decide to just make some circles across the top, give it some kind of texture. I'm going to wet those, let them be super grungy. And then I thought I was going to be done, but I took a quick search for words. I found this envelope, this grungy envelope I had stamped with a stamp, and this word discover at the bottom kind of stuck out to me. So I've cut it out and I'm just going to stick it down. All right, y'all, this one was a wild and crazy right? I thought yesterday's was crazy, but no, this was insane. Let me know what you think, what you would have done if you did something with both of these prompts or either one of them, and what you think of this crazy, crazy card. I appreciate so much that you came by and took the time to take this wild ride with me. And if you like this, make sure to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe and come back later and see what I've got going on. Thanks, y'all. Bye.